Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. It's Tuesday night, and that means that it is Revive Your Spirit time. Wonderful to see you all. You know the drill by now, brothers and sisters. So send me a few hellos in the comments. Tell me where you are, and I'll introduce my guest and really let them kind of roll with their story, inshallah. We've got someone really, really interesting, mashallah, today. His name, he's known as Ish, but his first name is Ishmael. I actually don't know your second name, brother. I could ask you that. And he is navigating the choppy waters of social media, but for a very, very good cause. He's come back to Islam, and he wants his fellow brothers and sisters from all parts of the world to understand how important it is to practice the faith and what it gives you when you do and what it means to practice. So I'm really happy to welcome Ish to our live today. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Salam. How are you, Lord?
Yeah, alhamdulillah. I'm actually in Istanbul at the moment, and I've got fairy lights on my balcony, which I'm looking at, and it's quite a cool night. And where are you?
I'm in my office. This is my studio/office. This is where all my light bulb moments happen and where I get creative and get on with my work.
So what do you do? What sort of work do you do in your studio?
I do YouTube, I do TikTok, Instagram. Like, I do social media, but I also have a business which I work on, family business, which everything basically happens in this room.
So actually, when we were talking just before we went live, you said that you were kind of a little bit, not nervous, but uncomfortable with the format where you're asked questions, and yet you do TikTok and you do all this social media. Why is this different?
What do you mean?
Yeah, so you were saying that you don't normally talk like this because we're going to do a bit of a...
We've done a live broadcast before.
Okay, really?
Yeah, never had the opportunity. I mean, I do Instagram lives and stuff, but not like a topic where it's about Islam. I've never done this, which is nice. It's something new.
Mashallah, well, you're most welcome. Tell us a little bit about growing up in East London, and what's your family background?
We're Indian.
Okay.
We're Indian, yeah. So growing up in East London was good. Like, I had a good childhood, went to a good school. Everyone over here wants to be a footballer, so that was me as well. 2 knee surgeries, that dream completely went out the window. But I started to kind of develop other habits. So that's about the time where I kind of started to develop the everything happens for a reason attitude. So I tore my ACL, my knee ligament when I was very young, 2 or 3 times. I was a very, very skinny kid, and I started going to the gym after I started bulking up, and then that's kind of when I started to fundamentally believe like everything happens for a reason, because I fell in love with fitness after. And then me and my journey with Allah kind of starts a bit later down the line, but the fundamental belief that everything happens for a reason was a big part of that.
Let me back you up a little bit. Growing up in East London to Muslim parents, did you find that yourself and your friendship group at that time were willing to practice, wanting to practice Islam, or even understanding it? You know, your friends at that time, did parents explain Islam, or was it just, this is what we do? We don't know why we do it, we just do it.
No, I feel like I had a good explanation, and we grew up fairly practicing. I was never forced to do anything, I mean, there's times where naturally parents force you to pray and stuff, like, and that's good. They do it out of their own love, you know. Like, sometimes if I don't see my brother waking up for prayer and stuff, like, I would feel a certain type of way. The older I grew, the more I realized that deen and Islam, yes, family play a huge, huge role, but Allah guides who He wills, and it's your own willingness to do things and your love for Allah. It comes within you. If you're forced to do it, I don't feel like it's the same, you know.
So you fell in love with, I just want to say a big thank you to WATAN UK. Support their work with Syrian refugees, please. They're doing great work. They sponsor all of the work that we do in bringing these stories to you. And we will be broadcasting for the 30 days of Ramadan. That's the big news I wanted to share today. So Ish, you're the first person, the guest that I chose to share that with today. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
So in East London, you're there and you're really into your football, and then you get a couple of injuries, so that dream is gone. How did that impact you? You said that it made you believe that everything's for a reason, but at the same time, at some point, you were questioning even the existence of God. Am I right?
Definitely. So from a very, very, very young age, I've had it in me that I am unique and I really want to do something special with my life. From an extremely young age, like it's just been in me. Like I just wanted to be very, very different. And I want to do something very special. I didn't know what it was. I just knew that I wanted to be different and I wanted to be very, very successful. Originally, it was football. So you can imagine, like, football was the dream for me. And I was good as well. Like, I played at teams and stuff. ACL went, knee went. That dream was shattered. But that being special, being unique was still there. Like, it was always, always there. It just didn't go. I went to college. I was just doing the same thing as everyone else. Left college early, rejoined college, finished college, and then after everyone was going off to uni, and I said I just don't want to go uni because I don't know what I want to do in the future. I have no idea what I want to do in the future. So why am I going to uni to study something I'm not even aware of? Like I don't have a dream of doing stuff like uni related. So why am I going to do uni? So I got a job in the property industry, commission only. So this is where the only way I can make money is to do a deal. And this is kind of where like my journey with Allah begins, because it's like I'm young, you know, all my friends are off to uni. I'm kind of isolated, working very, very hard, and I'm not making no money. Like I'm working from 7 a.m. in the morning, early mornings, coming back late, and I'm not making any money. And I still, even at my age now, but when I'm younger, it's like like we have this thing for money, especially if you're working hard for it and you're not making it. Like you feel a certain type of way, especially as a man who's got pride.
That's interesting. Brothers and sisters, just to outline what we're talking about today, I'm joined by Ish. He is determined to explain Islam to his generation and to explain the importance of loving Allah and how to begin on that journey by sharing his journey. So wish him well, Insha'Allah, and listen to the miracles and the way that Allah Ta'ala always rewards those who are seeking his truth, bi'idhnillah Ta'ala. So that's really interesting. So you said something there that I've heard over and over again, because I speak to people like Omar Issa and Zayn Beaker and you know, all people who've experienced fame and then, you know, walked away from it, really, is that suddenly the chasing of the money, suddenly the pride. You mentioned two things: chasing money and pride. How did that impact your prayers? How did it impact your search?
At that point, while I was going through this entire period where I'm not making anything, and I'm working really hard, like genuinely working really hard, and I'm not making anything, and I do deals, but they fall through when they're not in my control. So it's like I'm doing my part, but when it's out of my control, then it's just not working. And I'm not praying whatsoever during that period of time. Like there's no prayer from my side at all. And it got to a point, like, and I was doing silly things with friends. Like I come from a background, I'm a youth. Like I fell into silly things. I was doing silly things with my friends and so on. And it got to a point where it was just like, I do not know what to do anymore. And that's when I started asking myself two fundamental questions. Like, is there a creator? Because why is this happening to me? If there was a creator, this shouldn't happen to me. That's my mentality at the time. And the second thing is like, if there is a creator, then what way shall I worship this creator? Because it's just like, a creator deserves worship if there is one. But I was born a Muslim. It doesn't necessarily mean I was born in the correct faith. And I kind of went on this crazy little journey of mine to figure that out for myself, like with absolute sincerity. Like I just wanted to know the truth. I started reading different texts like the Bible and so on. Like I genuinely sat there and read it. I was watching loads of YouTube videos. And then I quickly realized that there's no way that I believe in my heart of hearts that all of this happened without a creator. Like I realized that very, very quickly. Like I
Can
do
you
not
break that down for us a second? Because when you're saying all of this, all of what?
the creation of the universe, how amazing our human body is, and how complex our human body is. The coincidence that if the Earth was 10 centimeters closer to the sun, that the Earth would be too hot to live on. If the Big Bang, because Allah describes the Big Bang in the Quran, if it happened, there's a scientific fact. If it happened differently, then this wouldn't be the way it would be. Like everything had to happen with absolute perfection. And there's no way logically that I could believe that this happened by coincidence. My brain wouldn't let me do that. Like I don't believe that things happen for no reason. I believe everything happens for a reason. And this is why I was saying it's important that when my knee ACL surgery happened and I started going gym, I genuinely believe that I fell in love with fitness, and I wouldn't have fallen in love with fitness if my surgery didn't happen to my knee, which was such a big blow to me. So I had this fundamental belief that everything happens for a reason. I started to question that a bit. And then I quickly realized that no, everything does happen for a reason, like the creation of the universe. So I quickly believed that there's a creator. I came to that conclusion very quickly. Then my second search was, which way is the right way to worship this creator? Because I was genuinely, and my parents don't even know this, I was genuinely ready to give up being a Muslim if I found the truth to be something else, because that's how much sincerity I was looking for. I was genuinely asking a creator, tell me which way to worship you and I will do it.
When you say were you asking in prayer, you were saying, "Oh Lord, if you're there, can you hear me?"
Yeah,
or was it?
Yeah, no, definitely. Like just show me the way. Like just show me the way. Just guide me. Just asking for guidance with sincerity. Like not with a hard heart. Like genuine sincerity. Like, and when you ask with genuine sincerity, every small thing in your life, you'll notice it becomes a sign.
It's true.
So that's what happened, and after like I'd say a month of literally just so much research, so many YouTube videos, I was just.
Who are you watching? What kind of YouTube videos moved you?
And so like I can't even name. There's so many. I feel like from that time I've literally watched most of the Islamic YouTube videos out there.
Okay.
Like so many. Like I was just binge watching this stuff. I was binge watching like it's like the Hyde Park debates and stuff, and I'm sure you've seen those debates.
Brother Ali Dawah.
Yeah, all of them. I was just binge watching this stuff, and I was forming my own kind of conclusions. And I sat in bed one day and I was just thinking, Subhanallah, Allah really chose me to be a part of the truth.
Subhanallah.
And that's the conclusion that I got to. And then once I got to that conclusion, I was like, I want to pray now. Like I just want to pray. Nothing is going right in my life. I want to just try praying, because I've tried everything else. I've done the working hard. I've done the waking up early, going to sleep late, like all these successful people they talk about. And it's definitely important. Like, your routine and your discipline is important. But I tried everything from that perspective. I was just, let me just try praying. Like,
did you ever follow any gurus or any time management people, and this is going to cure your life? Were you following that stream for a while?
I still believe in that. So that's a big part of my life. Like I believe in discipline. I believe in that success requires discipline. Like you can't just pray and hope everything comes to you. So I believe that as well. So I still listen to motivational speeches and stuff. But what's happened to me now is I've combined prayer plus that. And that's when I've seen the results. I was even talking to a friend recently, because, like Iman goes up and down. My Iman dipped recently, and I was like, I'm working so hard, and not seeing the results I want. I need to increase my Iman, because you can work 100%, 110% and not see the results you want. But with prayer, you can work 40% hard with prayer and see the results you want. Because
well, I wonder if that's not a bit problematic though, because if we're linking praise to praise for Allah with dunya success. Allah can take away our dunya success, and we
No,
can pray for 10 years and we
no,
may not, you know?
no. Of course, I understand, but it's like my goal as this is relating back to my goal. Like I want to. People ask me all the time, like, why do I want the success in this dunya? My priority is Jannah, of course. That should be everyone's priority first and foremost. But I want to show people that if someone like me, like a nobody, like someone just absolutely nobody can do stuff and help people, then anyone can. And that really comes down to Allah, like at the end of the day.
So what do you start to do when you started practicing? Because I know that you believe in a very gentle approach, because so many young people that you know, there are people of all generations that struggle with their iman. But let's talk about, Gen Z. Let's talk about, people in their 20s right now, gone through mainstream education, been a part of the mainstream culture, which all seems so kind of glamorous and bright and sparkly. But how is it when you get up close to the culture? Did you find something lacking? And why is what is the draw away from Allah for the people in their 20s, do you think? In the West specifically.
So like I really don't like it's very difficult for me to comment on like a generalized bunch of people. So like I talk about myself and my experiences, and if people can relate to that, that's all I kind of ask for. Like if you can't, then someone else you'll be able to relate to. I have where my life changed, like genuinely where like my turning point in my life was, where when I started praying, I realized that I wasn't getting the things that I wanted dunya-wise. And then I realized that I'm going to die anyway. Like all of this is kind of coming to an end, like the things that I'm chasing and stuff, like I'm gonna be left with nothing at the end of the day anyway. I started truly like living by that. So I was like, let me try praying. Like I was just like, let me just try, because this is what my purpose is. Like this is Allah created me for worship, so let me fulfill my purpose. I started praying, and so for 3 months, I was working in this commission only role, maybe even 4. I didn't earn a single penny, to the point my manager at the time, he gave me £100 just so I can travel from the train.
That's horrible.
Because he felt sorry for me. Yeah, and you can imagine, like I'm working every day, so weekends as well. Like I'm working weekends. And like I'm obviously being parents, they're just very worried about my future and so on and so on. And I'm just like sticking it out. Like I'm sure I can do something here. And the reason why like I talk about the dunya is because that's kind of the example I can give of how my perspective changed in terms of akhirah. My dunya also changed. So I started praying. First day I was praying, I felt better. Nothing happened, nothing different happened. I felt better, a bit lighter. Second day I prayed, again, nothing happened, but you feel like a bit more in routine. Okay, you know what, I'm gonna stick this out. I'm gonna keep on doing this. Like I feel a little bit better. Third day I was praying consistently. Like I'm determined to make this my routine now. And I did my first deal. I remember it was a £500 deal. And I was just like, wow, like is this a coincidence? Is this not a coincidence? That's the questions I was kind of asking in my head. That same day, I did another deal. And I was thinking, well, like £1,000 in a day. I haven't earned anything for 4 months. And I started praying. I literally just earned £1,000 in a day. Like subhanAllah, like surely this can't be a coincidence. Like I'm getting more and more convinced that surely this is Allah. The next day, I did another deal. So that's like what, 1.5K for a 19, 18-year-old that's earned that in 2 days after not earning anything for 4 months and being depressed and suicidal and questioning things. This is just like a eureka moment to me. Like, wow, like I found the answers. Like Allah is the cause of everything. You worship Allah the way you want, and you get what you want when you work hard for it. the way he deserves. I mean, we can never really worship Allah the way he deserves ever. But having that genuine intention to try to, as best as you can, like you will see the benefits in this life and the hereafter. So that was in 2 days. And then what happened was a Friday came. So this is like the fifth day I started praying. So Jummah day. And usually it takes 5 to 10 viewings of a property, and maybe from that you'll get one offer. So I had one viewing that day, and I remember it was 30 minutes away from my house, door to door, exactly 30 minutes. And because I've been there so many times, I just remembered it was 30 minutes. That day, I didn't really do much. I was helping my mum around. I prayed. I went to Jummah. I came back, and I left. The viewing was at 7:30. I left my house exactly 7 o'clock on the dot, to the point where, like, I genuinely remember checking my phone and seeing 7 o'clock. And it's weird because when you leave your house on a normal day, you don't ever check your phone and remember the time you've left and stuff. I'm walking down my road, and I check bus times, and the one bus is coming in 1 minute and one bus is coming in 10 minutes. So I knew if I did not make that 1 minute bus, I am missing this viewing completely. There's no way I'm making the viewing on time. So as soon as I see that, I start running towards the bus stop, like sprinting in a suit and everything. And as soon as I get to the top of my road, I just see the bus just drive past. So I'm like, oh, I missed it. But subhanAllah, this is the crazy bit, where as soon as I stopped running, a white Range Rover pulled up next to me and put his window down and was like, yo, bro, you running for the bus? So I was like, yeah. He was like, jump in. So I just jumped in a random guy's car. I didn't ask any questions. I'm just thinking, what is going on here? I was like, thank you, bro. I appreciate this so much. You have no idea. Can you just drop me to the bus stop ahead so I can catch that same bus that I was about to miss? So he did that. I jumped out of the car, went upstairs on the bus, and I'm just thinking, how is this happening? Like, I just started praying, and I'm seeing these things. How I couldn't fathom. Like, in East London, Lauren, that does not happen over here. Yeah. People don't just randomly pick people up. Like, see that over here. Like, and I got to the viewing exactly 7:30 on the dot, and I'm thinking, what on earth is happening here? Like, I just, and this is one of them ones, like, everything is from Allah, everything is from Allah, everything is from Allah. I am still, and I'm using this Ramadan to really get my iman to that level again, because I miss that feeling. And what happened was, I showed the people around the property, and they said, I'll let you know. When you're in the lettings industry, if someone says, I'll let you know, you're never seeing them again. Like, with lettings, you make the deal there and then on the spot. Like, it's like selling a phone case. When you're going there, I'll let you know. You're not coming back to that phone case. When in that 4 months, people have said, I'll let you know, no one has ever called me back to inquire about that property. I was like, all right, that's fine. I didn't even care. Like, I made 1.5K in 2 days. I was like, these crazy miracles happened to me. Like, alhamdulillah for everything. I didn't care whatsoever. I remember going to the mosque to pray Maghrib that day. Come home, prayed Isha, fell asleep. That day, I randomly woke up in the middle of the night, and I was like, you know what, I'm awake. Let me pray Tahajjud. So I prayed Tahajjud, and this is where I did was extra. You know, my iman was that high, my belief was that high. I believe that if I do was extra, it's only going to benefit me. And when you have that concrete, sincere belief that if I do what's extra, it's going to benefit me, you get up and do it like it's not even a hassle at all. So I got up, I prayed Tahajjud, and I remember like just lying in bed after, just speaking to Allah, like, that is crazy what you did with the Range Rover. Like, I'm just mindful, I'm 18-year-old, and I was just thinking, that is absolutely crazy. I was smiling. I was like, Allah, if that is a sign from you and only you, and I can't associate that with anyone else whatsoever, make that deal go through. And I truly believe it, sincerely, that is from you, and I will never be able to associate with anyone else. So I woke up, I prayed Fajr, I went to the gym, I come back, and I got a call from those same people that I met saying, let's make that deal go through. And I was just like, subhanallah, like I worked so hard without Allah's help for 4 months of my life, where to the point I was questioning the existence of the universe, to my purpose, to then go through that entire journey to then find my purpose and do what's asked of me. You know, like Allah asked us or demanded us to pray 5 times a day because it benefits us. Like He demanded the things that are compulsory, He did that on purpose because there's literal, it's only benefiting us. It doesn't benefit Allah in any way whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
So then I did what's compulsory from my side, and I saw the benefits. And that's kind of where like my life kind of shifted from there on, like completely. So that one guy that stopped from the Range Rover, he completely changed my life, and he has no idea about it. I mean, of course, that inspired me, but
you know, I want to share a crazy story with you in return, actually. So one day I was going between two fundraisers for Gaza. One was in West London and one was right over the other side in East London. I had my 10-year-old in the car with me, and it was a rainy, wet night, wet afternoon. And I hit the Westway, and it was one of those 5-mile backups. You know, it was like there was nothing moving. And suddenly I saw I had no petrol. And I thought, that's okay. I can call a friend with the phone. My phone suddenly goes dead and I haven't got a charger in the car, which is very rare. But so now I'm thinking I'm going to break down in the rain, in traffic on the Westway. And I've got 500 people waiting for me to arrive at this event. So my daughter started going, oh my God, what's going to happen? I said, no. That's not how we deal with it. You're a little girl. Why don't you make dua? She made the cutest dua. Oh, Allah, we're only trying to do good for your people and we're 2 women alone. Oh, Allah, we know you won't leave us. Oh, Allah. I said, I was nearly crying. It was so, so sweet. We won't leave us, Allah. We totally trust in you. So then we ran out of petrol and I had to pull over on the Westway, just before on the, sorry, it's the Western Avenue, yeah? And there was a little lay-by. And it was lashing down, brother. It was absolutely lashing. So you can't see at all. And I noticed that there was a car parked behind us. I said to my daughter, listen, I'm going to go and knock and see what are the chances. You know what Londoners are like. Londoners in the lashing rain, a woman in hijab, okay? It's like, what are you going to do? So I knock on the door. I say, Allah, it's all on you. I totally trust you. There's only khair. So I knock on the window and it's lashing down. The window comes down and first thing I see is a hijabi. And I'm like, okay, this is looking better with a baby. And then wallahi, the brother is a driver, and he turns to me and he says, Sister Lauren Booth, how may we be of service?
No way.
Yes. How can we be of service? I said, right, I've run out of petrol and I need some help. He said, right, what we'll do is we'll go and get you some petrol and I'll fill your car up. So when he'd filled the car up, about 20 minutes later, they went out of their way, came back, filled the car up. I said, oh my God, I've just realized my phone's dead, so I can't find my way to this venue anyway. So it's all been for nothing. He said, where's the venue? I said, this is the restaurant in East London, I was heading. He said, I'm a taxi driver. I know it. Follow me. And they went 2 hours out of their way because that was the traffic in order. And I walked in just on time. And I thought, subhanallah. So, you know, inna ma'al usri yusra, inna ma'al usri yusra. After hardship comes ease. And, you know, verily, Allah says, if you are grateful, I will increase you.
You know, Jenny, like you know. It's for the viewers watching, and I want to clarify that I am nowhere near perfect at all. But one thing I am is conscious and conscious that I can always do better and always improve. And it's hearing stories like this and even repeating my own stories, stuff that happened to me. It makes me remember how I want to be and how I should be and where I want to get to again. Like even your story, like knowing that happened to you, no one can ever tell me that was a coincidence. it will make me angry. Like no one will ever tell me that was a coincidence. And everything is written 50,000 years before the earth was created, the universe was created. The leaf falling from the tree was written. And it makes me think about it. If everything is written, why not trust the greatest of all writers? You know.
MashaAllah. What have you done? What are you doing now with what you know? How has it actually changed your life? So you have gratitude and you have the basics of the deen, mashallah, tabarakallah. What other changes did you make? And brothers and sisters, just to say, are you okay to stay a bit longer? Because I know you're busy, but I'd love to ask everybody if they've got some questions for you.
Yeah, I can stay for another 20 minutes or so.
Fantastic. May Allah bless you. Thanks so much. Brothers and sisters, IshEverything is going to stay for another 20 minutes. And we'd really love to have a Q&A with you. Faith-based, although I'm sure he's open to genuine questions as well. So, yeah.
So what am I doing now with what I know? Again, it's very rare for me to come on, and this is me being completely genuine, openly honest. Yeah? It's very rare for me to come on and do a Islamic-based talk. The reason it's rare for me is because there's a lot of Muslims out there, and this is the sad reality. It's a very judgmental crowd. You know, if you're not doing something right, you're a bad person. And that's the sad reality, and no one can really deny that. And alhamdulillah, if you're not like that, then you are on the right track, because you never know who's good in the eyes of Allah and who's bad in the eyes of Allah. You just don't know. Only Allah knows that. So what I do now is I make YouTube videos. They're not Islamic based, but you always find bits and pieces of Islam there, like my faith in general, like about where I want my life to be, and what I want to do is faith based. Like, faith is the key to success at the end of the day. I have faith in Allah, my success in this dunya and the akhirah. And I do videos. Some of them are funny. Some of them I talk with my mates while we're eating food, about life in general, about Islam, about how we've fallen off and what we need to do to get back to where we are. Because the audience for me is very different. The audience for me, like my audience in general, are people that know they are not where they want to be, but acknowledge that, and they know they want to grow as much as possible. And it's crazy because I've been writing a journal for about 2 to 3 years now on my phone.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it's called a journal called Day One. Like, it's an app on your phone, and it's crazy because they messaged me recently as well, like for a collaboration, which is mind blowing to me, because I've literally been using this for 3 years, like way before anyone knew me as IshEverything or anything. But in my journal, like I said, I want to have an audience that wants to grow. That's deen wise, like me, because I am nowhere near where I want to be, and I want to grow as well. Dunya wise, like me, because I am nowhere near where I want to be, and I want to grow as well. And so much of the youth can relate with that, and they know that it doesn't happen by magic. You have to put in hard work, and you have to have a lot of tawakkul and sabr in this process.
Do you think that we're going to have the lovely adhan now here in Turkey? Bismillah. Do you think that people do know that it takes hard work, though? Because the thing about being successful on YouTube and TikTok is
not just
people don't see the work that goes in there, right?
It's actually funny you mentioned this, because I'm literally in the process of recording a video saying it's going to be titled like the YouTube struggle or something, where it's like I literally take the viewers through the entire process of creating just one video.
Yeah.
But my channel is not about, if I can do it, you can do it, in YouTube only. Like, they see me as a YouTuber, but I also have a business. I've had businesses in the past.
What is your business? What is the work that you do?
I have a construction business.
Construction, okay.
Yeah, I have a construction business, and I dabble in quite a lot, like other things as well. Helping my friends and stuff. But my message is, if I can do something, then you can too. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, I am literally a nobody, and I'm talking to Lauren Booth. Do you know what I'm saying?
Suffering.
No, like Lauren Booth Subhanallah. I'm,
Astaghfirullah. What
I'm,
does that mean?
I'm very grateful to be in this situation. That's what I mean. Like,
Allah bless you. Allah bless you. Allah bless you. You know,
very grateful.
the main thing is that we all, and this is the challenge, isn't it? That once you are visual, that people can, that it's very easy to get pulled by celebrity status. So I want to ask you about your fears, and or perhaps you like the word celebrity. I doubt it.
Nah,
Do you ever get called a celebrity, and what does it do to you to be recognized?
So yeah, people do recognize me, and it's so, you know, it's funny because I have this conversation a lot. Like, I am a sucker for deep talks. Like, I love deep talks, and I'll talk with my friends deeply all the time. And I have this conversation with my friends quite a lot, and it's just like, if I didn't have a clear why about why I started all of this in the first place, all of this stuff would really, really get to my head. And it has got to my head before. And I have good, amazing friends that have pulled me back down to reality, which is why Allah put them in my life in the first place. And my clear why is, you know, I used to make dua as I was walking to work. I used to work 6 a.m. in the morning in a gym. And I used to walk, sometimes it was raining and stuff. And this is when I was going through like a really, really spiritual phase. And I was like, Allah, like, if your religion is the truth, then show me the truth, and I will be the messenger for it. Like, I will do my very best in the way I can to show your message to people. And this was a sincere dua that I used to make for Allah, just walking to work by myself and stuff. So it's like, I have a clear why. My why is, I want to do something to show other people that, you know, you're special. You just have to try. Like that. That's why I have that quote on my wall. If you don't try, you'll never know. Like, just try what you want to do in life, because if you just don't try, you just won't know. Like, I wouldn't be in this position if I didn't try. You know, if I didn't try doing anything, I would not be sitting here or doing things that I'm able to do if I just didn't try. Like, try your best and have tawakkul that Allah will deal with everything else. You know.
MashaAllah.
And
we've got a question, brother. Asmil says, what scholars does Brother Ismail recommend to listen to on YouTube?
So in terms of scholars and stuff, I like listening to Mufti Menk. Mufti Menk is like everyone's like.
Where do you stand on Mufti Menk and knitting? Now, we could fall out here. You better give the right answer. There's only one answer.
I mean, you know, I saw the thumbnail of that video and I did click on it. So I'm not too sure about this whole knitting saga. But I like Mufti Menk a lot. The reason I like Mufti Menk a lot is because he explains things that don't scare people. And the way he talks about Islam and the deen, it's not intimidating at all. And I'm a firm believer that Islam shouldn't intimidate you. It should make you feel comfort of the heart. And that comfort of the heart is what makes you like get closer to Allah. Like, I'm a firm believer in that, you know. Sometimes people talk about Islam and it's very intimidating to someone that's not as practicing as they want to be. But you should talk about it in a way where it genuinely just brings so much comfort to your heart to know, if you are not praying right now, wallahi, this is exactly where you're meant to be. It was written for you to be in that point at that time. It doesn't mean that's written for you for the future, you know, like that's how it has to be for the future. You can change everything going forward, but up until this point, wherever you are, it was completely written for you the way it was, like nothing.
Well, you know what, yeah, but do you remember that Shaitan can wrangle with that kind of thinking as well, and because we can get in a state where we say, you know, I don't want to sin, but clearly Allah has written it for me to be like this. Astaghfirullah. Is that what you're saying?
No, of course not. That's definitely what I'm saying. But it's coming from a place where you have to fundamentally believe that you have your morals. You know, if you're committing a sin, it's something that you shouldn't be doing. You know, but the comfort of the heart is that if you have been doing it up until this point, it's been happening because it's been written. But learn from what's been written. Like, that's why it's there. Like, learn from it. Constantly learn from the things you've been through. If you're committing a sin, then try your very best to stay away from that and trust Allah with the rest of the process, because you can't do it alone, you know.
Sure.
You can't leave that sin alone. And there's so many sins that I have left behind, and there's so many sins that I will struggle with, and I will keep on trusting Allah that He will guide me through that entire process. Like, there's things that me and you and every other Muslim are struggling with right now, because we were made for that. We were made to struggle, but even your struggle and your effort, subhanAllah, is being rewarded. Like,
you know what, one of the nicest sayings that I've heard is, don't judge others because they sin differently to you.
yes, subhanAllah.
Yeah, it's only, everybody sins, it's just it might not be the one that's irritating you and bothering you right now, that shaitan's got you on, you know. But we always want to think, well, at least I'm not doing that.
Exactly. And this is like what we said earlier, was like the judgmental side of things is why I like to deliver like the message in my own way. And my own way is just, I don't like to speak about Islam. I try not to. If you see my videos, I often do, you know, like in subtly, you know, like you won't see me being preachy. I like to really try to develop my character as much as I can. So that speaks for itself, and that's genuinely what I try to do. And I fail miserably, constantly, but I always try to keep on improving that. That's just my way of delivering.
Ish, when we started talking about this, it was very, you were speaking in a way that, you know, we need material things for life. As a young man, you're going to get married, inshallah. You're going to need the stuff for life. People can get very driven by materialism. But have you seen that other side of, the more you give away, the more that we disconnect from dunya, the less need we have of things, the freer we are, and the more ease comes to our heart?
Without a doubt. And okay, so I have to, the best way for me to put this is the more you chase, the less you get. You know, the more you chase, the more whatever you're chasing is running away from you. The only time that doesn't apply is the more you chase Allah, Allah will just get even closer to you. But everything else in this life, the more you chase, the more whatever you're chasing is running away from you. And you know, there's times where, listen, we all need money. This is something that we need, and it's natural for us to want as well.
But how much do we need? How much is enough? Because I think, you know, because what's happened in this day and age, it's always been there, but there's so much stuff to buy. And just having 3 meals a day and a decent dry place to sleep is not, you know, is unfortunately not going to cut it with most people.
When you ask the first question, how much do you need? Whatever you have right now is what you need, because Allah always provides what He needs, you know.
Mashallah.
So whatever you have right now, and if that's someone that's watching this that has £5 or less in their account, that is what you need at this point in time. Otherwise, Allah would have given you more, you know, because Allah always, you know, you can bear what He wouldn't burden.
He won't burden you more than you can bear.
Exactly. So whatever you have right now is exactly what you need in terms of these things that you're struggling with. You know, like, it's just there to teach you a lesson. You know, at the end of the day, that's all it is. A life is full of lessons.
True. Haneen's got a really a good comment, and I'd like to get your thought on this. Before following Islamic speakers on YouTube, one should try to get knowledge of deen by studying Islam from authentic resources, so that no one merely follows speakers, but knows what is correct and what is not. Now, one of the major duties, the first major duty for the Muslim, is to know exactly what is expected of us. And that is technical, and it is to do with fiqh and Sharia. And it's important, and that's our duty towards Allah Ta'ala.
I completely agree. But then again, like I told you, like the angle that I like to look at things is very different. I agree. But again, there's a fine line between getting intimidated. Again, to someone that's not practicing and seeing those things, like, it could intimidate someone. Whereas watching someone on YouTube, it could bring comfort to their heart, and that makes them want to learn more and grow more. So there's a very fine line, you know. I completely agree. that you need to have the right knowledge, but the comfort of the heart is more important than anything else at first, because that's what develops that communication with Allah, and then you learn more, and then you grow more in your relationship with Allah, and you learn what's right and what's wrong. But I feel like that comfort, that sweetness of Iman is needed, and then you start developing like ilm.
You know what, brothers and sisters, the first thing is to accept the call and submit. And then the submission, if Allah wills, will lead to greater knowledge, because those who have knowledge are beloved to Allah. And it's not for everybody. There are simple people who pray 5 times a day and give their charity and do their 5 pillars, whom Allah loves for their simplicity. And there are hugely technical, wonderful scholars who get by degrees much closer because of their knowledge, and Allah has chosen that for them as well. And I think, to me, it's like everybody going to university. In the UK, everybody should go to university, right? But why? I'm not saying don't seek knowledge. Seek knowledge absolutely to what Allah allows you to, but don't let not having knowledge put you off the path.
Exactly. I think it's important to say to the viewers, that everyone that is watching, every single human being is on their own journey. Like please don't compare it to anyone else's. Just strive in your own journey. Just focus on your own relationship with Allah. Focus on your own, dunya as well. Like, you look at other people's dunya and you want what they have, and just be grateful and be appreciative with where you're at, and striving just your own journey. I feel like it's so important to just keep on focusing on yourself, and that way you appreciate the small things so much more. And if you look at even like Islamic scholars, they'll say this as well, like just focus on your own journey. You look at the people as examples and learn from their mistakes, but at the end of the day, you're going at your own pace, but just keep on striving with your own journey. And I think that's very important, because there's so many people that on different speeds. Like, some people are crawling, some people are running, some people are flying, but don't let that intimidate you. Just wherever pace you're going at, just keep on striving at that pace. Don't look at any other people's journeys.
Do you have some, we're saying don't look at other people's journeys, but I always love to know how people plan their Ramadan, and where are you going to be this Ramadan, and have you set yourself some goals, or do you just...
I actually got a journal, Ramadan journal, which I...
Oh, they're great. Yeah, I got a Ramadan planner last year.
Never used one before, but like, I'm committed to, like, and I'm convinced that I'm gonna, Insha'Allah, stick to it this month. I got it with a friend of mine, so we're like both trying to do it together, kind of thing. Insha'Allah, but so that hopefully should keep me focused. I want to also... And this has been a goal of mine, Lauren, for a very long time, to learn the 99 names of Allah with the meaning.
Oh my God, that's my goal this month as well.
So that's this month. Inshallah, I'm really actually going to genuinely try to make that effort to do that. And I want to see how far I can get. Like, I've always kind of started...
It's only three a day plus some extra towards the end of the month. It's 3 a day. With meaning, though, with what it means. That's important.
Because if you use that in dua, like, you feel so different, like when you're asking the characteristics of Allah rather than just Allah by His name, like when you're saying the most giving, or the most forgiving, and so on. So that's been a goal of mine for a very long time. I just, procrastinate and other things get in the way, but this is something that I genuinely want to do, and we'll see how far it goes, Inshallah.
MashaAllah. You know what? Thank you so much. We've taken a lot of your time. I'm very grateful to have met you. Brothers and sisters, please follow. Can you tell everyone where to find you and what your work you're involved in right now that you want to share?
Actually put the light on for this.
Go on, put the light
on. That would have been so much better if it was on the whole time. IshEverything. So IshEverything. I'm on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. That's where you find me. If you want to shoot me a DM, feel free. I usually do reply. It's difficult sometimes, but I try to, Inshallah. So,
MashaAllah, that must be really, really tough. Will you come back on in Ramadan and give us an update on what's going on?
definitely. Shoot me a message with,
Okay.
and let's try to get something sorted, inshallah. It was nice speaking to you, Lauren.
Nice speaking to you, brother. May Allah continue to bless and guide you. And remember us in your du'as, please.
You as well. I need it.
We all do. Take care. Akhi, masalama. So,
Salam.
brothers and sisters, wasn't that was wonderful, wasn't it? That's how it is to make our journey back to the Sirat al Mustaqim. It's not where we start off; it's where we end, inshallah, with the best destination, bi'idhnillah. And keeping that goal in mind, you know, he really seems like you know, a young man who's got a real direction. You know, he asked, "What is the why of starting things?" Which is, what is the intention of starting things? Yeah, Haneen, if you don't try, you'll never know, which is good. That doesn't mean, as long as it's halal, keep it halal. Try the good things, you know, keep trying the good things. That's a brilliant comment. Jazakallah. Adam, who's producing today, have we got time to show Aisha Rosalie's video that we made? What do you think? Brothers and sisters, we've got a real treat for you now. A couple of weeks ago, Aisha Rosalie, who's also committed to sharing her journey to Islam, mashallah, she came and stayed at my apartment in Istanbul, which was really nice, mashallah, with her husband. And we had some fun and made a quick video as well to share. So, Adam, do you want to click play? What do you think? Bismillah.
Day. Here in Uskadar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So it's a beautiful day here in Uskadar pre-Ramadan, and I'm joined by Aisha Rosalie. Alhamdulillah, welcome.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Do you know what I decided to do?
Yeah.
Because obviously we're going to be running live in a second for Revive Your Life. But I thought, you know, we spend so little time actually watching people meeting now. That you're in Uskadar,
Yeah.
alhamdulillah, you've been staying nearby, and I just wanted us to do a little bit of face to face so you get that feeling, so we remember what it's like to actually meet people.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, subhanallah. Do you feel? Have you felt that like me, like some of the social skills have maybe kind of rolled back a bit?
Oh yeah,
Seriously.
definitely. No, it does because you have to keep practicing. The same with your deen. If you don't keep practicing your deen, you lose it really quickly. If you don't keep practicing your social skills, they're gonna go.
I guess you guys are feeling the same as well, subhanallah. So I've been following your YouTube channel for a little while now, and just want to say, mashallah tabarakallah, for someone who's been Muslim such a short time, you are describing really well your first steps in the faith and kind of inviting people onto the journey, but you haven't limited yourself to your journey. You're actually talking about the wider meanings of faith as well, and speaking to other people. How have you got confidence to do that? What shape is your journey taking that's allowing you to really look past your immediate experience, do you think?
I think it's a certain openness that you need to have if you're going to sort of even, I guess, join a new religion, right? You have to have a certain openness to even go on that discovery journey. And I think the openness that it took for me to, think, oh, you know, Azan is beautiful, Mosque is beautiful. I'm going to have a look at the Quran a little bit, and I'm going to explore that, and I'm going to read the Quran, and then after that go, I'm going to learn to pray, and you know, the openness that it takes to do that. And it's not easy. You have to have a certain level of confidence, because if you're not confident in what you believe in, then you're not going to fulfill it. And you have to have a certain level of confidence to be like, I believe in this, I'm going to become Muslim. I'm going to wear hijab and all my family and friends are going to think I'm weird. You know.
Did you so how long have you been Muslim?
I'm just under a year. Hasn't hit a year yet.
No way.
I'm
under
still baby.
A year. Here's the thing. Did you when did you decide to kind of develop a channel, and what were the risks? What risks have you encountered? Did your mum see you on the channel and go, I don't like that? Because that's the thing. You know, often our parents who aren't Muslim are like, can you just hide it away a bit, because it's kind of embarrassing because Mary down the road's going to see you. Yeah, that's a really common thing.
Mary down the road did see me.
Yeah.
But no, my husband actually encouraged me to do it. I never considered it. It never crossed my mind. But he's very sort of down with YouTube. He's followed all these, you know, people on YouTube, all the Muslims and stuff that do it. And I had no idea. I mean, I knew about Mufti Menk and everyone because, you know, these big scholars, you watch their videos when you're first discovering Islam. But he sort of introduced me to this other world of YouTube, and that's people like converts and things like this who do their videos and share their stories. And I was like, okay. I didn't really want to do it at first. I was very nervous because, like you said, there's that stigma behind your sort of, I guess, previous life, which it can feel like a previous life sometimes. And there's a worry that, you know, people are not going to accept you and all this kind of stuff. There's so many worries that come in. But the ultimate sort of thing that it came down to, and that was, I want to try and inspire people with my story, because these stories that were shared on YouTube were what inspired me. And the fact that people did that for me, I kind of felt maybe I want to try and do it in return. And, you know, Allahu Alam, He knows whether it's successful or not. But I'm trying, you know. I'm trying.
There's the first thing that you told me is to keep your intentions pure, you're learning. So I made a bit of a mistake when I came to Islam and was immediately flung on stages, and because I'd come from an acting background and a media background, I was like, yeah, I can speak at this, I can speak, and I got myself into situations where I should have just been learning and being quiet. Do you ever feel that imbalance? Definitely, and it's really hard to know, because a lot of questions people ask me, you have to be like, look, I'm Muslim for this long. Why do they ask us? Yeah, why do they? We don't know. I've been Muslim 5 minutes. Can I meet women who are not in my family? I don't know. Please don't ask me. Yeah, exactly. And it's really hard to juggle, because you want to pass on goodness, but you don't want to say something that you don't know. And it's really hard to judge. Which is everything. So it's really hard to know where you can stand with this. And I think it's our duty as Muslims to pass on goodness. So I try and keep it as basic as possible, and I do try and keep in mind my audience are mostly non-Muslim, but that's what I keep in mind. Is that right? That most of the people on your videos who watch your videos are non-Muslims? No, I have mostly Muslims. But that's what I keep in mind when I make my videos. I think I want to make this as accessible for non-Muslims as possible. So that's kind of my goal when I make my channel, when I do my videos, is I try and keep it as basic as possible. That's kind of the main goal for me. I don't want to keep throwing around these Arabic words and all this kind of stuff that non-Muslims are going to get confused on, because this is my goal with my channel. I'm in no place to educate Muslims. You know, I have no, like, I'm still learning a lot. But there are issues in our deen that, you know, can be fixed as well. So it depends who's learning from my videos. I think in the ummah rather than in the deen. What we mean is in our community, the deen, because the deen is perfect. Of course. But we have kind of broken societies all over at the moment. Definitely. So we want to reflect some light.
Alhamdulillah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. We're going to be having Aisha on, Insha'Allah. So we are just a matter of days from Ramadan, Alhamdulillah. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling that ibadah is getting that bit easier and that bit even more soothing than usual. Normally a few days before, you know, it's like, I don't know, I have a picture in my mind, okay, this is just me. I visualize the gates of Jannah literally kind of really slowly opening and all of that hair coming out. And I don't know, that's how I like to visualize things in the coming days before Ramadan, Alhamdulillah. So we've got 30 days of blessings, and I've got 30 days of shows with you guys. So I hope you'll join us, Inshallah ta'ala. And I hope you really benefited from these first kind of warm-up shows with amazing people really pursuing their deen and trying to do good, bi'idhnillah ta'ala. Please remember all of my guests in your du'as, and please remember my family in your good du'as as well, inshallah. And I'll remember all of you when I say, oh Allah, bless everybody in the ummah, and bless all the sincere brothers and sisters wherever they are in the world. And oh Allah, lift all of the difficulties from this ummah, ya Rab, accept our shaheed, and bless those who are the oppressed, and you always answer their du'as. And, you know, give us peace in our hearts with this deen, oh Allah, and peace in our families as well, ya Rab. And ya Rabbi zidni ilmi, ya Allah, please, really give us good, sound knowledge moving forward, so that we're always protected, because with that sound knowledge, we can take on the world quite literally and find that contentment. Ameen, ya Rabbul Alameen. Okay, That's it. I hope to see you every night in Ramadan, inshallah, and more details coming up soon. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum. Rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.